All right, so let's review today. As you can see, I'll just take a look. So we have ES over here, as you can see, through Asia ranging, London ranging, but in London we did come up and take out previous day's high on kind of the first candle and pre-market. This is the 5-minute chart in bar replay mode. So we did come up and take out these two relative highs and the prior day's high. As you can see in NQ, we came up, we stacked these highs. We never took out previous day's highs. So NQ was looking like the more bearish asset. And I was just a little late to the draw. As you can see here, I had this 5-minute fair value gap marked out. And also I should point out on ES, we had all this low resistance liquidity stacked up here with a 15-minute fair value gap. This is a high quality draw after we took liquidity. So this is a dope trade if you get the entry model. So typically I don't really get in the charts until about 9:45, and I was just a little late to the draw here. So this is the weaker asset. As you can see, NQ came up. We have an SMT at the highs here. If I zoom in closer, we have this 5-minute fair value gap, and we have this 15-minute fair value gap, and as you can see, it's not closing through either. And then really this candle here, this would have been a great trade. I just wasn't really on my computer set up to take it, but right here and targeting here, honestly I would have targeted here, but you could have gone for London. And okay, so let's look at the trade I did take. So once we came down here, we had an SMT. We had ES. ES, as you can see here, took out all Asia and London. NQ came down, took out London, but couldn't make it the whole way to Asia. So once we had this, as you can see here, there was a 15-minute fair value gap, and we ran through it. But really what I was looking to see is this 5-minute inversed, and then that original short idea. It would have been pretty powerful for me if I could see this get inversed. So once we saw that, I entered long, and I put my stop all the way down here. And the reason I was so confident going long was mainly because we just had so much liquidity. We had prior day's high, this high, this high. We had a lot going on here. So 540 was so it was just a 1.2, but I think it was a relatively safe trade. And I gave it plenty of breathing room because, as you can see, it's been such a choppy market. And as you see here, my entry was down here. Yeah, 149. Yeah, so good trade, and let's see it played out. So at about this point here, 10:50, I was actually on a walk, and typically I kind of just go for a walk after I place my trade, set some OCO orders, and then once it gets to around 11, I'll come home and just tighten the trade up if necessary and just bring the stop to break even. So I got back at around 11:10. So my plan was to come back, take my stops to here, and then see wherever the trade goes. At this point, I thought it was pretty likely. Just there is a crazy amount of liquidity. On top of that, we've got large imbalances that haven't been mitigated right on top of it. So, excuse me. So that's a very strong draw. It's a strong draw in good conditions. We're not in great conditions. Right now, we are in like a headline dependent market, where even if you're in a trade like this, all it takes is one news headline to totally set your trade sideways. And look what happened here. So right here this is the 10:55 candle. So this is like, I was on my way home, literally walking in my door at around 11:10, and as you can see, I came home, I walked in my door around this time, saw this. At this point I was like, all right, let's just see, like when you see this level of strength, I'm not too hopeful. I was like, oh, maybe this is a mitigation candle, but my hopes weren't up. Realistically, I was like, I'm just going to leave my stop where it is. I don't want to play with it. If I see a retrace into profit, I'm just going to take my stop to break even. and call it a day. But no, it was just as I said. It was I don't even know what the headline is at this point. It doesn't really matter. But we had a violent move to the downside, which is being bought up now, and it's the same trade. It's just such a narrative driven market, and if we actually zoom out, like let's take a look even at the 4 hour. So what really screwed things up is, let me clean this up a little bit. This is the huge monster Monday candle on news where Trump said, okay, we're in progress for the war to end sooner than expected. So we have this massive candle here, and this is like almost done in a 1 minute candle. It was just all these algos and everything. So it's almost like treating it as you would treat data. So here's our data high, here's our data low, and we've been trading in between these two extremes. That says market participants have not made their mind up on which way the market wants to go at this given time. So trading in this is extremely dangerous. That's why yesterday I sat down, my full trading session, 0 trades. Today sat down, or yesterday, Monday and Tuesday, this was untradeable. There was just no opportunity. It was super, like I can show you here. Like this is Monday AM. It's just very back and forth. At this point, 11 AM is my cutoff time, so there was nothing going on here where I could get involved with. Again, we're just trading inside of this range. There was no follow through anywhere. Yesterday, this is New York AM, nothing. Today, we were actually starting to see a little bit of back and forth. I was like, all right, we got this nice manipulation leg and clean delivery through it with clear highs. So it was like, for me, this is like A+. And I can't even be annoyed. The only thing is, I think I just need to, just going forward, get back on my screen, I think around 11 AM. Especially if my trade is heavily in profit, which like, I wouldn't say it was heavily in profit, I was close enough, and I'm going in with heavier size. So like really, I make good money off 1-to-1s. With the idea that I have a higher win rate, and so I really need to protect my downside as much as possible, but not get in the way of letting a trade breathe. And in a trade like this, we'd already displaced enough up here that if it was to come back to my break even, I think the trade would have been wrong, just like it was here. And it was just unfortunate. Like that was my plan today, and like you can't predict news headlines like this, doing this to the market. But yeah, this is a very, very, very challenging market to trade. There's no doubt about it. It's crazy to be looking while we're in between these two, the Trump candle here. Looking for expansion is crazy until we displace with momentum through either this high or this low. You want to be keeping your risk rewards tight, and not looking for huge expansions. Once the trades move enough in your direction and built enough structure, getting your stop to break even, and just and honestly sitting it out. Like this week, I've only placed 1 trade this week, and it was a good trade. I'm really, really happy with like this. Today is not a losing day in my mind. It was a great trade, followed all my rules, and just a news candle got me, and that's the conditions we're in right now. Until we get more clarity of the whole Iran situation, I don't expect much to change. The big money sitting on the sidelines, waiting for more certainty, and that's markets thrive on certainty. And right now, with so much uncertainty, you're just getting this back and forth price action while people sit on the sidelines.